Bikies are lawyering up.
Outlaw frenemies are setting aside traditional rivalries to fight a new gang that's threatening them. About 50 senior bikies and their lawyers have held at least 2 secret meetings recently to talk about the McGowan government's anti-gang laws.
Out of curiosity, where do 50 bikies hold a meeting?
That's being kept secret because gang crime will bug the shit out of the place if they find out. But I've been told it was at a suburban community centre.
Are we ready to start another game?
Nobody beats me at bingo.
They all trooped in, did their secret handshakes and backslaps, and discussed complex legal precedents while enjoying milk arrowroots and cups of Earl Grey.
God damn, Jimmy. This some serious gourmet shit.
I made up the bit about tea and Bikies, but the rest of it is true. These guys are going to the High Court.
Let's dig it up.
They're going to ask Australia's top judges to rule that the 4 planks of WA's bikie laws are illegal. That's insignia laws banning club tats, colours and emblems, dispersal notices which stop them from hanging out with each other for up to 7 days, anti-consorting notices which prevent them from hanging out for 3 years, and firearm prohibition orders which stop patch members owning guns, or at least legal ones.
Who's the applicant?
The person who brings an action to the High Court must have something called standing with the court, be personally affected by the law they're seeking to challenge. So it needs to be someone who has been hit with insignia, dispersal, anti-consorting and firearm prohibition orders. Only one guy in WA that's pissed the cops off enough to make that quaddie. Troy Mercanti's shaping up to be the poster boy for bikie rights. The gangs are going to pool their funds to pay for the Mercanti action, which is ironic considering this guy's rich history with the donors. The coffin cheaters threw him out of their club after luring him to a goat farm and beating the daylights out of him in 2008. That was just after the Comancheros wanted to kill him after a meeting between Mercanti and Como's boss Mick Howie got fighty. Those 2 disagreements came 10 years after the Club Deros wanted to kill him because he was mates with defector Kevin Mad Mick Woodhouse, which was 3 years before the rebels bombed Mercanti's house in retaliation for an altercation at a southwest pub.
And the mongrel mob recently clashed with Mercanti's gang.
This was these 2 gangs at the Whistling Kite pub in Secret Harbour in August. Apparently all that's water under the bridge.
Before. You're living in the past, Marge. Quit living in the past.
Which lawyer's going to represent him in the High Court?
Mercanti's long-time legal counsel is Paul Holmes, and he's involved but not actually leading the action. A silk on the East Coast has been briefed on that.
Oh, that sounds expensive.
20 grand a day for a senior counsel, plus God knows how much for all the others.
How the hell you justify making this much money?
It'll run into the millions.
I still wonder, where do they get these millions from?
Well, they've been collecting cans for a very long time in preparation for this.
We can beat it if we don't feed it.
The last time something like this happened was in 2009 when the United Motorcycle Council was formed. Back then it was Ferret the Fink, who was the figurehead for the civil liberties of outlaw gang members.
We are together just to ride our bikes and have a good time.
Could the bikies actually win?
I reckon the High Court judges are going to be uncomfortable with some elements of the laws, particularly the fact there is very little judicial oversight. No way to appeal a dispersal notice, you just got to accept it. Actually, there is a way to appeal. You have to plead your case to the cop who is the boss of the cop who issued the order.
Never gonna happen.
And if the bikies lose the High Court action, they're still going to fight.
What else can they do?
Form a political party. Wouldn't be the first time a bunch of loose units made a tilt at Parliament.
Yeah, that's my kind of party.
Seriously?
They won't do it thinking they can get a member elected to the Senate or the House of Reps. They'll do it so they can associate on the pretense of discussing politics. And they'll make sure that their political symbol incorporates their various patches because I don't think state legislation can override federal electoral law.
Extinction Rebellion need a legal fighting fund.
5 protesters glued themselves to the floor outside Dumas House. They did this after spray painting the front of the building that's home to ministerial offices. It's not the first time Extinction Rebellion has used Tarzan's grip. A couple of years ago, they stuck themselves to the railing in the public gallery at Parliament House. a move they thought was pretty nifty until they realised they would be forced to watch Question Time.
A member for the Kimberleys said that she would fight like a Chichuana.
The spectacle of a 68-year-old grandmother being arrested wasn't the biggest headache for WA's resources sector on Tuesday. Chevron released its Safe, Respectful and Inclusive Workplace Review, which found a career at the American oil giant was anything but. 50% of staff said they'd been bullied and 1 in 3 sexually harassed. The report, which comes smack bang in the middle of the 16 Days in WA campaign, was posted a couple of hours after a gas leak forced Santos to cut production at its Varanus Island facility. Varanus is the bastard stepchild of the oil and gas industry.
What the hell do you know about being a bastard?
The leak comes 8 months after 25,000 litres of oil spilt into the ocean and 14 years after this happened. It's a shit facility, but it produces a lot of the gas for the domestic market. It boils the kettles that bikers use to make cups of tea while working out how to subvert gang laws. And it's also used to generate electricity. Santos says output will be restricted for up to 6 weeks, which means we're going to be running short on gas at the same time as we're running short on coal, at the same time as we're all turning on our air conditioners for the first time since last summer.
It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
But Energy Minister Bill Johnson says there's still no threat to power production and everything's just fine. I'm Ben Harvey.
If anyone knows how to murder someone and get away with it, it would have been him.
He was an animal.
You believe Gary White is an innocent man?
100%.